Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you to another engaging and introspective episode of TXK Conversation, part of the TXK State of Mind podcast collection. I'm Jeremy Duncan, your host and curator. As we come off a week's hiatus, we have assembled a stellar group of guests who will grace our stage over the next 5 weeks. We've been diligently working to bring in guests who are movers and shakers in their professions around the country, but also those primetime players in the TXK MSA. Tonight's discussion will be a very informative and engaging one. We're going to be discussing the Tough Kookie Foundation. Part of that, engaging in a conversation about breast cancer, is a crucial theme for raising awareness and supporting those affected by the disease. It's an opportunity to share information on early detection, treatment options, and the importance of research for a cure. Such conversations can empower individuals with knowledge and foster a community of care and support. This week's guest has taken this to an amazing level of advocacy by creating her own foundation to have those conversations, to affect change, and to drive policy for a cure. Join us this week as we welcome Katina R. Levingston, founder and president of the Tough Kookie Foundation, to the stage as we engage in an in-depth conversation about her path to recovery and her vision for this foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Ms. Levingston to the stage. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So let's get started by learning a little bit about your story. Can you share with us how and when you were first diagnosed with breast cancer?
Sure. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2016. Actually, my husband found the knot, and we went to my gynecologist here in Texarkana. Everything when I first was diagnosed was moving so fast. I was seen on a Monday. I had my mammogram on a Wednesday. My biopsy was the following Tuesday. The next Monday, I had surgery. So everything was moving very fast. I was stage 1, but it was very aggressive. So they acted very aggressive. I did have my surgery here, but I ended up having my chemotherapy in MD Anderson, which was a great choice because MD Anderson, I state, is the best in the world. So I actually went there for a second opinion, and I end up still today seeing my doctors at MD Anderson.
Okay. All right. Everything moved pretty fast for you once you found out that you had the diagnosis. So how did being diagnosed change you or affect the way you looked at yourself at that point?
Well, I would say just saying I have breast cancer, I had breast cancer, it actually changed my life in so many ways.
Yes, ma'am.
I've always been a believer of God, but when I got breast cancer, I wasn't tuned to gifts anymore, traveling, doing things. Through that 18 months of span of chemotherapy and radiation, I really got in tune with God, because at any given minute at that time, I didn't know if I was going to be here the next day. Yes. So I prayed. I got closer to God. I really digged into the word to find out about my healing, because I would, tell God, you said that you would heal me. I really got in tune with, to be able to be here. I had 2 young children at the time, and I wanted to see them graduate. So I would find scriptures and words in the Bible, and I would talk to God all the time about me, my healing, what his promises, what he said. And so that is one of the things that got me over the hump. I used to be that person that I wanted this. If somebody, this came out, I wanted a new car, and I wanted this and I wanted that. But when you get cancer of any type or any disease, it changed your mindset from things to life. And so I would say dearly, I knew that I wanted to live, and things didn't matter anymore.
Yeah, your priorities, they soon take a different set of directions once you're engaged in a serious situation at that. At what point during your path to recovery did you realize helping other women find and treat breast cancer early was your calling?
I probably was in 2 to 3 months. As I stated, I'm in Texarkana. I have no family here, so I'm just here. My family mostly is in Louisiana and Houston and Texas. So I don't have any family, mother, dad, sisters, cousins that is in Texarkana with me.
Right.
So through the journey, I always knew that I wanted somebody that knew what I was going through to talk to, and I didn't have that. So I always knew that I wanted to form some kind of support group to help others that was coming on behind me. So it was early on, because when you're going through, my children didn't know exactly how I felt. My
Right.
husband is always a protector, so he wants to fix everything and make everything right. But sometimes you just want to talk to others that's going through the same thing that you're going through, or that could possibly understand, like chemo brain. I mean, we make a joke out of it sometimes, but chemo
Right.
brain is a real thing. I mean, you could be talking 1 minute and the next minute you have no idea what you was talking about. So just talking
Yes.
to other women and men that's going through breast cancer is and was a great need for me.
Okay. And doing my research about you and your organization, I came across an interview that I think you did with the local news station, I think the NBC affiliate, and you had talked about how your grandmother, she taught you about serving and giving back, and how you spent time on her farm, and that's where you learned that servant heart, to be able to go out and form your foundation. So, how did the Tough Cookie Foundation, and the name goes? That's really a really great name for your organization. How did that come about? How did you get it started to where you are today?
Right. Well, just a little bit about my grandmother before I go into that. My
Yes, ma'am.
grandmother was on the farm, lived on the farm, 33 acres and a third. She was a very giving lady. She gave everything. I don't know this one time. I mean, we raised everything from cows to hogs to pigs, meat
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
smokehouse, greens, watermelon. I mean, any fruit, peaches,
Everything.
plums, strawberries. We had it all.
Yes.
On the farm. And I never noticed my grandmother ever charging anybody for anything. And she always told me it was better to give than to receive. She always told us that
Right.
as coming to be kids, but as kids, you hear it, but you don't really know until you day by day you understand what the old people
Right.
say. And
Right.
so she was always a big giver. Actually had an aunt that lives in Shreveport, and she opened the very first home where people can come shelter, and she had a shelter where she gave. And so I just noticed that my family was good religious people that always
Hmm.
gave without expecting to get something back. I didn't know it was in me until I got breast cancer, and then I noticed, that I had a gift of giving. I've always been a giver, but I didn't know that was one of my gifts. But the Tough Cookie Foundation name came from my mail lady, mail
Okay.
carrier, and her name was Cheryl. I think she retired now. She was a rural carrier, and every day she would bring me my mail when I worked from home,
Right.
and every day that she would see me for months and months and months, I would come and ask her if she wanted something while I'm fighting cancer. And she
Hmm.
told me one day she brought me a card, and on the card it said, "You are one tough cookie." And she said that
Right.
she never seen anybody that was going through and was facing her and my husband worked together. My husband been
Okay.
working for the post office for 37 years. So she said she never seen anybody that was
Right.
going through still get up with a smile on their face. And she brought me this card. So that's where the Tough Cookie Foundation came from. It's from my letter carrier, Cheryl.
All right. That's good. That's a good story. And keeping with that, how could you tell me a little bit about what the early days were like with your new foundation, started a new foundation, being able to make those first interactions with other women who were experiencing the same thing that you were? What was that process like with developing this?
Well, we launched our foundation in COVID.
Oh,
So this was the time where we couldn't actually get out and sit beside each other. So our very first event was arts. So that was at the track where we go and have survivors or patients that's going through cancer
right.
paint a painting, and it's hung down our track. And so that was one of our very first events. Donna Harrison coordinated that for us. But we went down and we painted. And we painted from Hobby Lobby. They gave us our free space, and
Right.
Track gave us the paint and everything, and we painted. And I had a chance to talk to women that was from 2 months in the cancer to 10-year survivors, 18-year survivors. Debbie Jones, right now, she is one of our. She has the pink Jeep that goes around on
I
Pink
saw that.
Friday, and she's a lone survivor of breast cancer. So it was a chance for me to learn from others as others
Right.
learned from me my vision and what I wanted to do and what I was trying to do. I just wanted to really just start off by making women feel good with spa days and different things like that. But it gave me a chance to learn from other women as they learned from me as we painted and relaxed.
Okay, that's really interesting because just your heart for giving and your heart to want to assist people, and of course your experience. I know that was a big impact on them because I know, especially with an African American community, with Black women being like a larger portion of any death that might happen from the disease. I think having that opportunity to speak with someone that's going through the process and being able to draw off that tough cookie spirit that you exhibited, I think that could be a big point of advocacy for people that are experiencing it and not really sure about how the diagnosis that they've been given is going to impact their overall life. Um, as you went through the development, I think you guys been around for like what, maybe 4 or 5 years altogether.
This is our 5th year.
Fifth year. What would you say is the number one or proudest achievement as being the president and founder of the Tough Cookie Foundation?
Anytime I write a check to someone in need is a proud moment. When I was going through, I didn't have anybody writing a check for
Right,
$5, $40, $100, anything like that. So anytime I actually get to write a check, I mean, they look at it as something small for a wig for
right,
$75, a bra for $65, a mammogram for $176, or whatever the case may be. Anytime that I'm writing checks or my treasurer is writing checks, I get excited because it's a blessing from the community. I mean, this community, Texarkana and surrounding areas, is amazing.
right.
They give out of their heart. I mean, we raised one year we raised a little over $100,000. This year we raised
Wow,
last year 2023 we raised over $200,000.
wow.
So this community come together and they see that what we're doing. We don't have to send any money to anyone. 100% of our proceeds stay right here in the Texarkana surrounding areas. You can find people that we've helped right here in Texarkana. You don't have to call to Dallas or Shreveport to find out who we've helped. We've helped so many people right here in Texarkana. And so it's just a blessing and a joy anytime I get a chance to write a check. I'm excited.
So how do you go about as far as your fundraising? Is it you like, I know you have several events coming up and I'll give you a chance to talk about those. So do you have like a team or financial assistance team that goes out and help you with who you're going to target for donations? How do you guys go about doing that?
Yeah, so the very first couple years, it was mostly me. Until my team, we've always had a committee. We started out our first year, we had 17. The next year, we had like 23. Right now, we have a total of 52 committee members. So right now, we have vice chair, presidents of different committees. So the event person, they put the events on. We have a sponsorship, which they go out and get sponsorships and donations. We have the logistic department that makes sure everything is intact. We have a treasurer. We have encouragement team that encourage and get all of our people that's going through and call. We have a children team that we have right now 17 children, I think 12 children that's suffering with childhood cancer, and she's over the children department. So we just have a lot of departments that's working behind the scenes that really pulls this together. I know people see me, but it's so many hands We have a lot of volunteers that even not a part of the committee that comes out and they get people registered. They help us set up and break down, and they come to our events and serve food. So we have a lot of people that is actually help us volunteers, but we have 50 committee members and we have 7 board members.
Wow, you got a strong team there that's helping you get everything done.
Yeah.
I know in my research, and I just heard you speak just a few seconds ago, that there is a component of your or foundation that focuses on childhood cancer. How is that process for connecting with those parents, providing a point of advocacy for them, giving them things that they may not necessarily know? Because cancer in itself is a big issue, but to have a child to experience that, talk a little bit about that process.
Well, that process is we usually get the information from the schools. When we first started out, we would get the information. Our very first 7 kids
Right.
we got from the councils from the school. Now that everybody know that we do childhood cancer as well as breast cancer, we get information from other parents. And so actually when we find out that a child has cancer, we tap into their parents. And most of it's found about on Facebook. And what we do is reach out to the parent, tell them who we are, ask them if they need an assistance. And then we gravitate with them. We give them a care package, would have our application in it. And on our kids side, on the breast cancer side, we do one-time $500, but we pay for a lot of things. For money wise, it's just $500. But on the kids side, we have no limit. I never want to be there, and I understand when a child is going through. Kids don't just get cancer in 16 months; they're cancer free like we are. Sometimes kids battle cancer for the rest of their lives. They're on medication, they're on chemotherapy, they're on radiation. And so it's different from kids. So we raise money. We're getting ready, geared up right now to do a Reggae Sumfest, which I call it bringing Jamaica to Texarkana. And so that event we doing for our children, and we geared up because we give kids scholarships. So any kid that had cancer or had cancer and walk across the stage at graduation, 12th grade, we give them a stipend. So it can be anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000. It depends on the money that we raise. So far, we've gave 3 $1,500 stipends to kids that graduated. And this year we have another kid that's graduating. On top of, we have 3 families that's going through right now heart cancer with their kids, and they are and their kids are in the hospital. So we're geared up for this Reggae Sumfest. We're looking for people that want to be sponsors, to want to help these families. We want to give because $500 can't tap a little child that's going through cancer. So we really want to give to these families and be support. But we also have encouragement team, but we call the kids, Miss Natasha Starks is over the children department. And so she interact with the families once a month or sometimes twice a month if they're going through, if they need something. So we may Uber eat the parents some food. We may let the mom go out and get her nails done, just a spa day. If she's been at the hospital with a kid for 30 days, she just need a break. We may, do whatever we can to support the mom or the dad or the kid, get a day out. We may send them to the jump house or something like that, just to get out of the hospital. Because some of these kids are in the hospital for 6 to 12 months at a time. So anytime they get a chance to get out, we're just there to help them any way we can.
Wow, you're doing an amazing work. You're doing things that they're doing at the largest cities and the children's hospitals that to assist parents in the local area. So the things that you're doing, again, it's a big point of advocacy for those families, for those cancer survivors, that are people that are just getting that initial diagnosis. One of the things that I looked at as I did my research on your site, as well as the National Cancer Society, is that the important thing that they looked at was patient advocacy and being able to make that a realization more and more of each year. And they talked about how that was waning a little bit. What do you think, or what do you view as the main thing that your foundation needs to do over the next 10 years to help progress all the things that you're doing now, to help grow those things, to build more donors that's going to be more conducive to providing you with those needs? Because things cost. The things that you're doing, the scholarships, the giving those families that extra need that they have while they're not able to work, while they're caring for themselves or a child. What's your projection for the Tough Cookie Foundation over the next 10 years?
Education is the key. We have a support group, and our support group is for all types of cancer, breast cancer, childhood cancer, but any type of cancer.
Yes, ma'am.
I say, because I'm a breast cancer survivor and I'm always reading, I'm always learning, if we can educate this community, Texarkana and the surrounding areas, about cancer, how soon you know your body, if you feel this, if this is different, if your prostate, if it's going to the bathroom, if you
Right.
see something different, if you're having constantly having headaches, our support group, when the doctors and the therapists and the speakers that come, they don't just talk about breast cancer. They can answer questions for any type of cancer. So that's why we have anybody that had cancer, that is diagnosed with cancer, can come. The more education we can educate the community, the more involved we get smarter, and it continue to help our families. If it's 50 people in a room and we educate 50 people, well, those 50 people have 3 people in their family, and you see it just get exposed. We all get learning. Right. We know more. Education is the key. That's why our support group is free. We have the oncologists come out. We've had the mental health psychiatrists come out. We just want to get the whole self educate, because if we can educate, money is great. But if I can educate the community when they feel or know something, where to go, where it is a book for this, where you can go to get this information, education is the key. Where I want to be in the next 10 years is, right now, we hitting just the marker on educating. I want, when people hear Tough Cookie Education is having a support group seminar, I wanted to pack the room, because I want them doctors there to know we can get doctors from MD Anderson, we can get doctors from Baylor, we can get doctors from Texarkana Weber Center, which is awesome doctors, but we want to be able to get whatever information to the people that's asking. We want to be able to educate the community. And I think by educating the community, cancer can go down, which, research is important, but I think education is the key.
Education is the key. You're correct. You're correct in every aspect. I think just by the things that you're doing, and that makes you a prime candidate to be the next TED Talk candidate to come up and do a TED Talk, because the work you're doing and your passion for the work that you're doing is just top level. And that's when I talked with Deanne, and she recommended me get with you to talk with you and get you on the show. I did my research, kind of look. I had been seeing your signs at different restaurants and around the city. I said, Tough Cookie Foundation, what is that? Then I kind of did a little bit more research, and I was looking at all the amazing things that you were doing, your organization was doing, how you started in 2016 when you first diagnosed, and then to this point. So the work you're doing is really amazing. And I know that in 10 years, you might have more branches throughout Texas. Because you're doing a great work, and the assignment that you have is great work.
Well, I definitely say I owe it all to God, because people always say, how do you do what you do and run a business and do this and have 2 kids in college and this and that? But I owe it all to God. It's definitely something that He leads me. He gives me the energy. He gives me the guidance. He gives me the people to talk to. Some days I don't know what to say when somebody comes to me and they say I have stage 4 breast cancer. And I always have to lean back and say, hey, God, you tell me what to say. I don't never want to be on the forefront, which you see me, Katina, founder, president. I wanted to always be God-led of what He would have me to do and how He would have me to go and what He would have me to say. Because dealing with cancer or any disease is always a hard conversation. So I always want to lead with God and end with God.
That's correct. That's great, because we're kind of in tune. But that was my next question. What advice would you have for a newly diagnosed woman? And you kind of answered that, and how you go back and you fall back on the word of God to give you that word to be able to relate to someone else in their time of need. What makes you and your foundation unique? You got different foundations out there, people focusing on cancer. You have the national organization that's focusing on, but what makes you and the Tough Cookie Foundation unique?
Well, we're so unique in a lot of ways. Some foundations, they just help with mammograms. Some foundations just give money. Some foundations just help with bras. me as being a cancer survivor, I know it's a lot of need. Support is a key thing. And so we can do a support group, we can do mammograms, we can do ultrasounds, we can do MRI, breast, and we can do food, we do transportation, we do stipends, so it's unique. But what we do is we have a multicultural, diverse team. At one time, we had 11 different diverse people that was on our committee. And so with that, what I do each year, we come up with a different fundraiser dance. So the very first year it was Mardi Gras because I'm from Louisiana. Second year it was for the sock hop, and this year is for Jamaican. Next year we already got our theme for the next 2 years. So it'll be different every year. What I've learned is some organization, which is no shout outs to anyone, some organization do the same thing every year, and people get tired of the same thing. So when I came up with the Tough Kookie Foundation and we was going to do a dance, and this dance or ball is the money that we raise for childhood cancer kids and family only. So this one is be a change. So if we do this one, we do different every year. It's a different event. We don't just do the event. We have the food, the authentic food, the dress, the design, and all of that. So when we had the Mardi Gras, everybody said, when you going to bring the Mardi Gras? It won't be back for another 15 years. We're doing the Jamaica. We might not have that for the next 15 years. So we give the people in the city something different each and every year. So we just come up with different ideas that somebody else is not doing, and we bring it out to and people love it, and then other people jump on it. Well, we're going on to something else, and every year is something different. Every year we try not to do nothing the same besides the race. We do it, and it's different too every year. But we try to make sure that we change it up, keep the spice and things alive, so people can say, okay, I wonder what Tough Cookie gonna do this year, what dance they're gonna put together. So we just try to do something different to keep the community engaged and also learn about different cultures as we do it.
Oh, that's amazing. We're coming to our last question. Then we're going to give you an opportunity to just kind of relay some things that you want to talk to us about. But what are some of the other causes that you're passionate about?
I'm kind of passionate to Alzheimer's. My grandmother had Alzheimer's in her later years, probably when she turned 98. She got Alzheimer's. So I'm passionate to Alzheimer's. I'm passionate to anything that pertains to children and education, because education, as I say, is the key. The kids are our future, and so I'm passionate to that. But I'm also just passionate to things that help the young people to be better stewards of giving back to the community, training up the kids how to give back. How to go outside and play, how not to just stay in the house and play on all these games. I'm passionate about. One of them is the scholars. They have the scholars. They have those kids on the move. They're doing things almost every week, and I'm passionate about the things that they're doing with the kids, because the kids are our future. And if we dump into our kids and show the kids the way that they should be going and what they should be doing, it would help the community. Have a little boy with the scholars. I think his name is Aiden, and I'm not sure, but he runs the Juneteenth thing, and he's an amazing young guy. I can just see him in 10 years doing some great things, because his parents is teaching him what to do. The scholar is robing him and grooming him to be a better young man. And he's already on big stages talking. So the youth is our future. Alzheimer's is a big thing to me, and just children in general is a big thing for me as well.
Okay, yeah, I've been watching the scholars. I'm familiar with him. I know he did the Black History Parade one year, or UT Parade. Yeah, so he's a mover and shaker in the community at a young age. So this is the time where you can just talk about give shouts out to your organization, your team, whoever you're working with. As we come to a close, you can just give shouts out, talk about who's been helping you.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to some of our main sponsors, which is the Texarkana Radio. They have always been our grand presenting sponsor. St. Michael's has always been a big supporter, as well as Sam's and Walmart and Total Medical. They have been some of our top sponsors. We have so many sponsors, but those are our main sponsors. They have given to us all 4 of the years that we have been doing the Tough Cookie Foundation. And so I just want to give a big plug for them. I also want to, we're getting ready to have our Reggae Sumfest, as I talked a little bit about, and it's going to be June the 1st, and it's from 6 to 10, and it's going to be at the Silver Moon on Broad. The tickets for one ticket is $60. If you get 2 tickets, it's $100, so that'd be $50 each. And if you get a table 8, it's be $400. We are looking for sponsors. If you would like to be a sponsor, our smallest sponsor is $2,500. I think all the way to $10,000. So anybody that would like to be a sponsor, you can just reach me at 903-293-7093. Or if you're on Facebook, you can reach out to Kim Yingling. That's YINGLING. She is over our donation and sponsorship. You can also reach out to her. We're also having our very first annual Yellow Pedal Out childhood cancer bicycle ride. So we're very excited about this because they do this a lot in Louisiana, where they take the bicycles and they put all the lights on it and they ride the bikes in the dusk dawn. So we're going to be doing this event on August the 24th at Spring Lake Park. And so more information you'll hear about that coming up. And then we're also doing a Pink Out Sneaker Ball. And that's going to be October the 5th. And it's also going to be at the Silver Moon. So this is one of them dress to impress with your sneakers on. But you see what I was saying, we try to always do something unique. So it's going to be the Pink Out. Everybody come out in their pink, or pink and white men, if pink and black men, but pink, some kind of pink. And with your sneakers, we're just going to have a good time. The race is going to be October the 19th. Again at Texas A&M Texarkana. We're so gracious for Texas A&M Texarkana. They have been so gracious to let us continue to have our race out there at Texas A&M. And we just love the space. We love the parking. We love everything about Texas A&M. So actually, the race to register is already open.
Okay.
If you would like to get your team together, you need a team of 10 to be formed as a team. But get a team. But you can already start registering for the race now. This year, we will have package pickups will be in the Central Mall. So you will be able to pick up your T-shirts and your packages at the Central Mall this year. So Texarkana, we are getting geared up for so many events. We're just so proud of everything that God is doing. My board members are Cynthia Henderson, which she has been a part of the Tough Cookie Foundation since day one. We have Tony Henry is a board member, Cheryl Seha. We have my husband, Joe Levingston, as well as my 2 daughters, Nikina Levingston and Ashanti Levingston is on our board. But we have over 50 members on our committee, and committee members, if you're watching, I'm so grateful to God for each and every one of you for everything that you do, because without you, we can do nothing. These events can go forward. We wouldn't be raising the money that we raise. So we have so many phenomenal people that does so many, our media team that always putting everything on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. I want to say thank you to all of them, because I can't do those kind of things. I can't do it every day. So we have so many people, as I was saying, that does so many things. I didn't tell you about my motto. Our motto is together we can. And if you just listen to everything that I said, everything is togetherness. One person cannot pull off all of these unique things, and it takes people, it takes God, it takes communication, and it takes a lot of understanding and a lot of back and forwards to make an event successful. So I'm just truly thankful to my team. But I also wanted to tell the listeners a few things that what we do. We pay for free mammograms, and if you need a mammogram and you're listening, you can call St. Michael's, you can go to Colum Corny, or you can go to Little River Hospital, which is in Ashdown, and get a free mammogram. Our mammograms is not low base mammograms. I don't care. Cancer don't discriminate. So if you have $1 or $1,000,000 and you need a mammogram, all you have to do is reach out. They will send us a message and say, Miss Katina, can we? And 99.999, I say yes.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
pay for ultrasounds. We pay for breast MRIs, and breast MRIs are for kids that's under 18 that feel something in their breast, or boys, and you can get a breast MRI. We pay for bras, wigs, food, transportation, $500 stipend for breast cancer, travel, support services, care packages. We do Christmas gifts for the kids, Thanksgiving food baskets, and Christmas baskets, just to name a few. We also do the painting for track that is held. We do it in October, so they keep our paintings up until Christmas. So if you're a childhood cancer patient, parent, or a breast cancer survivor, or a patient that's going through, we will be painting, and those dates will be posted on our Facebook page, where you can start painting early as, I think, June. So we try to get our painting done early, so we can just when track get ready, all our panels are ready. So we're doing so much in the community, and we thank each and every sponsor, any person that ever gave a donation, anybody just gave us a gift or wigs, anything that you gave. We're just so grateful and thankful for everything that Texarkana and surrounding areas is doing for Tough Cookie Foundation.
Wow, you're doing, again, I just have to keep relaying, you're doing an amazing work. Your community is doing amazing work. And you can count on us. Our platform, anything that you got going on, you're rest assured that we're going to be publicizing it, getting it out to our following as we grow, so people will know about all the different events, so they can be able to purchase a ticket and be able to contribute to all the good things that your organization is doing. So anything that you do, shoot me a flyer, shoot me a text. I'm going to post it on my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram. For the TXK podcast, State of Mind podcast, so we can get you more people involved. Because again, the dollars are needed. That's dollars going to be needed to help you move that education platform forward. And again, I would like to thank you for coming on. Just a little side note for everyone that's listening, we're doing a twofer this week. So we have another amazing show that's going to be shown tomorrow, where we're going to have episode 8. It's called What's Your Pitch? With Jay Davis. He's a key contributor to the Pitch at Texarkana and the Assembly Line, a collaborative incubator space in downtown Texarkana. So he's going to be on hand with us tomorrow to talk about the top 3 of the upcoming contest that's coming up on March 26th. We're going to be reviewing the preparations that they have for the 2025 competition. And we're going to look at the next step that they're taking with a coordination of the contest going forward with the assembly line. So we got some big things coming up for you. So tune in to us next week, tomorrow rather, so we can hear Mr. Davis talk about pitching and all the things that's going on with that. Again, Ms. Levingston, I really appreciate you for coming on. Your discussion, your conversation with us was very informative. We have a lot of people on tonight. We have some on board with us. And I think they got a lot of. So again, we're going to post this on all of our platforms so people can be able to know what they need to do to get involved, to contribute. So again, the great work you're doing, you can count on us to help you move your mission forward and help your vision grow.
Well, I sure do. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you in advance for everything that you're going to do for Tough Cookie. And I'm just glad that we're going to be partners going forward.
Yes, ma'am. Glad to be working with you. Again, Texarkana, my motto is, what's your TXK state of mind? Thank you.